Checking updates. Updates finished.
Pushback failure, aircraft appears to not have any steerable gears.
Well, I think that was a tailwind takeoff. That was terrible, wasn't it? But anyway, I just wanted to get in the air quick. There seems to be a bit of wind here at the moment. Yeah. Seems to be a lot of wind. It is windy. Try and calm down a bit. Yeah. It's not good. Slightly windy. So we can get outside the cockpit now in a minute. Right. I have no idea what happened earlier. The sim just crashed. But it wasn't the sim actually. It was the windows were screening down. To be honest. You see one of those things that really happens. So I have no idea what's going on. Sound, aircraft exterior, put that to there. How's that? Is that any better? I am good at this, I'm just cheating today. Just messing around. Let's turn visual XP on. Off. That one is on. Visual XP, where the hell are you? Turn that off, right, there we go. That's better. But you must be able to hear me. Let me turn the mic up. I thought the mic was all the way up, but yeah, how's that? Is that any better? Should be okay. And I'll turn that down a bit further. How's that now? That should be alright, because I've turned everything all the way off and everything. Okay. Whoa, it's looking a bit ponderous, that weather, isn't it? Seems to be changing very quickly. I don't want it to. I want it to change gently. Or maybe it's sourcing itself out. Yeah, that's it. Hang on, what the hell is going on here now? Alright, sure, plugin admin. Let's put Visual XP back on. And see if we can sort out the weather. Turn that back on. Live weather. Right, there we are. This is Visual XP. That's real world, and I should imagine it might well be like this over Snowdon. going to take the 777 out, huh? Well, nice aircraft. Oof. Yeah, it's a bit windy. So we're just coming up to the top of Snowdon and the railway station. Oops, don't want that. We want that. That's the railway line down below us. The station is right at the top there. You just about see the building. There's a cafe and everything. I don't like MSFS, I must admit. I can't get along with it. I've tried, I just can't get along with it at all. I hate the camera system, everything about it. It looks great, don't get me wrong, it does look fantastic. What there? Fran? Right, my wife is trying to get the dog in. I'll go and do that. Yeah. I'll get him. Right. AI is supposed to be flying this, but it's not seem to be doing a very good job. Here we go. Let's get back to it now. The weather is absolutely shocking. The wind, killing me. Oh, I think I've run out of fuel. It's one of those days, isn't it? I wonder if I can get back to Carmarthen Airport. I doubt it. I'm not going to be able to glide that far, am I? So what's this now? What are we looking at? Change location. Let's change location. Right, let's try and catch up with what's being said here. Right, okay. Ian Moore, official. I'm a real world pilot that flies a light aircraft. Don't fly MSFS anymore. I was sick of the physics. It's sugar coated too much. Move to P3D. P3D. Yeah, it's an Xbox game. Prepared as a real world simulation engine. Well, is it? It's prepared is if you get the full version rather than just the educational version. Yeah, prepared stock flight model. Yeah, well, the flight model in prepared is the original one from Flight Simulator, which was based on lookup tables. Is prepared FAA licensed? I know X-Plane is, and X-Plane is used by NASA and Cessna and all sorts of people. Prepared the full commercial version was used in combat flight simulators. I know that, but I don't know about the educational one. Okay, they did. That said, a lot of third-party prepared add-ons use external flight models. Yes, PMDG uses an external flight model, and I believe INI Builds uses an external flight model. Oh, sorry, INI builds isn't in prepared. INI builds is in MSFS, isn't it? That's not true, Wycliffe. What's not true? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here. Prepared does, yeah, it does use the same lookup data as FSX, and in fact, it's just an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, King Moore's got it right. Yeah. Yeah. INI builds is using new CFD flight model in MSFS. Right, but as I say, I think MSFS looks brilliant. It really does. It looks fantastic. Problem with it is it's built for the Xbox. I mean, it's an Xbox game. It's built for the Xbox, and so what happens for me, and I can demonstrate this if you want. I can show you. No trouble at all. In fact, we will. Let's just explain run up here, and then we'll move over a minute. The problem with MSFS for me, there are a number of problems.
Pushback failure. Aircraft appears to not have any steerable gears.
Right. Okay. Let's just shut you off, and we'll do this because I think it's only fair. I mean, if I calling something out, let's have a look why I'm calling it out. Okay, but once again, I mean, I think we had this discussion a little bit earlier. We had this discussion a little bit earlier. We was talking about how things look. Probably in an earlier stream I did, and it's all subjective, right? So it's literally everything is subjective. It's down to the user, okay? And it's whatever the user prefers or likes, however you want to say it, right? For me, as the user, I prefer X-Plane over all the simulators. I used to be on Flight Simulator 2004 Professional. Then I went to FSX, and what I didn't know about FSX, because I learned as much about that simulator as I possibly could when I was in it, and it was brilliant until it was no longer brilliant. And when it was no longer brilliant, in so much as that it kept failing, and I spent more time tweaking and fiddling and trying to get the thing to run, that's when it was time to change. And I changed to X-Plane 10, which in no way it didn't look anything like Flight Simulator, but it worked straight out of the box, and it worked well, no problems at all. And then, with all the mods and the free software, etc., blah 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 blah, it became the Flight Simulator of choice. And then I learnt about that. I learnt about as much about X-Plane as I possibly could, and then X-Plane 11, and now 12. So, MSFS 2020. Oh god, a huge update. 1.14 gig update. Right. The problem is, of course, to do this, to look at it now, it's a mandatory update. So you've got to update. Yeah. Whether you like it or not. New Caribbean update. Yeah, great. Well, I'm not going to go to Caribbean. The thing with this, there are a number of things wrong with it. For me, it looks fantastic. It really does. But even visually, there are a couple of things that I can't get my head around. One of them is the point of reference for clouds. So when you're in an external view and you scan around, the clouds, the way they move, doesn't look right for me. Like I say, it's subjective, but there are lots of other things that really annoy me about it. And hopefully, if this update doesn't take too long, because Oops. Wonderful windows. Shouldn't take too long. I've got a fast update, fast internet connection, so it shouldn't take too long. Alright, and I need to check Team Woolly Sheep on Facebook. One group, new, some oh no, that's not what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. No, don't tell me Windows has crashed again. I think it might have. Oh no, it hasn't. Yeah, well, you say that. I mean, that's the thing that really gets to me, is the camera system. I'm not stupid, you know. I might be of a certain age, but I'm not stupid by any stretch of the imagination, and I cannot get to grips with the camera system at all. I've had people show me. They say, "Oh, you do this, you do that." I've gone through tutorials, and I just cannot get to grips with it. It just drives me insane. It really does. So here we are. That didn't take too long, did it? Flight conditions. We'll go with live because the weather's quite nice here today. All right. So the interface, it looks like 1999. This interface is awful, absolutely dreadful. Flight conditions, fly. Okay, right. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Ian. I really do. Because what I did, because I got so frustrated, I downloaded somebody's file, but I think it only works in the Airbus. Yeah, because you could have a different camera file for each aircraft. You can't just have one. It's things like that. Which makes no sense. Why would you have to have a different setup for a different file for each aircraft? I don't know. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've got that mixed up in my head somewhere wrong. I don't know. Oh, here we are. I mean, Cardiff Airport doesn't look anything like. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've set up my yeah, I'm ready to fly. Right. I've set up my cameras on the numpad in X-Plane, and it's the same in every aircraft. I don't have to have a separate file for each aircraft. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I can't remember. But I'm just... Alright. There we go. I know I can get downloads. I know there was a nice Cardiff download, Cardiff City, although it was too blue. The whole of the city had like a blue tinge to it. Now, don't get me wrong, this looks amazing. Right, this does look amazing. And I'm just using my hat key on my joystick just to look left and right. That's zooming in, zooming out, zooming in. Oh, these are, see? Now I don't know what the hell's happened here. But I also have num keys. No, I don't. I only have num keys in the Airbus. Right, so this is the one thing that I hate more than anything. That menu bar up there, right? And then you do this and you get this horrible menu bar. I just don't like it. I think it's awful. And then if I want to look outside, where's the camera? There's the camera. And then I go external. And then I've got to shut that down. Oh, and that's it. Yeah? I can do that. I can do that. I don't want that on there. But what I would like to do is be able to go from one, I'd like to just press a key and go from internal to external, you know, or like shift 2 or shift 3 or whatever. I don't get it. It's not logical. It might be to you, but it ain't to me. I got, and like I say, I hate this, and I hate that thing up there. You know, the small thing. You move your mouse and it appears. I know you can get rid of it. The only thing that I managed to do that I really liked was I managed to get rid of all the data on the screen. And what's this about? Showcase. You know, zoom level. I don't. But what's that? Well, so I have to do this when I want to zoom in and zoom out. I can't use my mouse wheel. Maybe I'm just being lazy, and instead of see, and also the plane is locked, so I have no control over the plane, none whatsoever. And even less control now. I just don't get it. So to get back into the aircraft, I've got to do that. Have I got control? I have got control. I'll just use my scroll wheel a bit. But all of that said, it does look great. I mean, that looks really good. Although, knowing Cardiff as I do, some areas are not represented very well. But then again, they're not represented very well in X-Plane. Although the orthophoto does help. I just let me catch up on the chat. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. The default scenery in X-Plane is dreadful. But then again, Austin has always said, you know, the scenery and the open source nature of X-Plane allows for for third parties to, you know, develop and work out scenery. I mean, what he created, as he called it, was a plausible world, not a real world, a plausible world for you to build on. Which is the same with MSFS. I totally agree. People are pushing out sceneries. The prices are quite reasonable, I have to say. Some of the airport prices. I mean, just doing this, just flying around like this, lovely. Yeah. Um, weather looks good. See if we can mess with the weather a bit. So turn off live and we can go to real time. Turn off live weather and then find, you know, like scattered clouds or even oops, a few clouds. Yeah, do that. That looks great. I totally agree with you. Everything you're saying, I'm agreeing with it. Yeah, it's certainly it's helped the industry. You know, MSFS has really, you know, not thrown a spanner in the works, it's thrown a spanner in there, which means that competition is good. It's certainly made Laminar kind of sit up and take notes of where their sim is and what they need to do, and you know, the next version of it will look amazing. I know it will. Yeah, so it is. Yeah, A300 in MSFS, 30 quid, I mean that's cheap. Yeah, it was 80 quid. Even more if you bought, I mean if you bought the first version and bought the updated version, they added something on. And like I say, flying around like this, fab, but it's like all the bloody things about it that I just don't like. Will it pull itself out? That's a bit violent. In fact, oh no, I never said it was bad. I said it was brilliant. I said, and I still maintain that it looks brilliant. It's just I don't like it. It's subjective, and I think you know, that's the thing. You know, this plain and simple, really. I mean, look at this. All this stuff. Realistic tree height. That seems like a bit of a con when you can get it. Edinburgh. It's supposed to be very good. £18.49. Cheap. I don't like the business model, I must admit. This whole, you know, everything that's developed goes on to the marketplace. I don't like that business model, I must admit. Somebody else tried that. Was it Apple? Apple tried it with something, didn't they? I can't remember. No, it wasn't. It was after FSX. After Microsoft pulled out of FSX, there was another thing came out, wasn't it? It didn't last very long, and everything was on the server, and yeah, and they tried this business model, but of course, if you developed for this, you couldn't develop for anything else, and I think it's the same with this. I don't know. Well, like I say, it's all subjective. It's, you know, it's cool. And what I've always said and continue to say is fly whatever makes you happy, and if you're happy with it, then that's it. Doesn't matter what simulator it is. I mean, I know people who fly Aerofly. I even know somebody who flies still flies FS9, and you know, happy as Larry, and that's the way it is. Okay. That's it. I'm in trouble with the wife because she's just had to go out and she wanted me to give her a lift, and I said no, so I gotta go and sort everything out. Anyway, sorry about the live stream earlier, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. And it's when you're dealing with things like this. I don't, you know, hang on, can I get this over here? Yeah, it's like when you're dealing with things like this software